welcome to Your Daily Boost 365. This is episode 8, Practice Self-Reflection to Gain Deeper Insights About Yourself. My name is Erica Bose-Vassell, and I am an entrepreneur. I've been in business for 30 years, and I am here with my dear friend, Texroy Elliott. He is a businessman. He's a promoter. And every time, if you listen to every episode, I say the same thing because I truly believe this. He is the smartest man that I have ever met. He's got an amazing insight to life, and I can't wait to hear what he has to say about our topic. Do you have anything you want to say, Texroy?
Well, like I always say, need no introduction. This your beautiful, intelligent businesswoman, entrepreneur, Erica Vassell.
So let's talk about how we practice self-reflection to gain deeper insights about ourselves, right? And this is something that I do. This is actually something that I teach the entrepreneurs that I work with. So I think that if you have, okay, let's just say you're in a sales situation, right? And it goes well. I think you should practice self-reflection to see what went well. If it didn't go well, I think you should practice, let's reflect on what didn't go well. You can always learn from the things that went well and didn't go well. And then in your personal life, let's say you have a little argument or something, right? Or someone doesn't understand you. Maybe take a pause and think about what might have transpired. What did you, is there something you did? Is there a way you reacted to a certain word? We all have trigger words, right? Text word, something can trigger someone. And so ask yourself, did that person trigger me by saying this? And how did I handle that? You can always learn, from the interactions. And what, you want to tell them what you say to me?
Tell them.
You tell me, wait till you tell me something and they're like, okay, I know it's going to take you a minute to process this. So when you process this later, I want you to think about what really transpired, right? Something like that. You say it differently,
That's
but
very true. Because with you or with others, emotions, we can't process it then because their emotion blocks all that. So when we calm down and we able to, then and that's not only you, a lot of us, including myself. So it's better process when you're calm,
I think it's important and to ask ourselves though. So a lot of times there's people walking around, they might not even realize it, right? And they think they can do no wrong. So if you talk to them, you'll hear they're grumbling about this interaction, this situation. And then you start thinking, man, every time I talk to this person, someone's against them, right? They feel that someone's against them. And that type of person is someone who is not open to self-reflection. They just think the world is against them. So be careful of hanging out with those kind of people because you don't need that negative energy, right? But I think it's a really, really grown-up thing to do. And having a growth mindset is to really self-reflect, whether you look in the mirror, you write it down, or whatever you need to do to process and your interactions and see where you might be able to grow. So with Texroy and I'm emotional. I'm a very emotional person. And so he's not so much, right? So he'll teach me how to separate the facts from the emotion. And that's a really great way that you can practice self-reflection. So what kind of tips do you have for our listeners?
Naturally, we all have to reflect on what's going on with us. So we might make a mistake. We ain't gonna make the same mistake the next minute or the next day. We're gonna try not to. So naturally, we have to reflect and damn, where did I go wrong? How did I make this mistake? And try to figure it out from there. But for the most part, in my opinion, like I said, not all of us do it. Some of us, we just speeding and we don't take that time out to, that's why people meditate, self-reflection. They digging deep, digging deep to make themselves a better person. So with me,
wait, do you meditate?
No, actually, no. I wouldn't say not to that level, but we all meditate, to be honest with you. So when you laying there in your bed, if it's you alone and you just there thinking, that's a form of meditation as well. Yeah. So in that sense, I do, but not like the typical that you would see them doing all this. Nah, I don't do it like that. But we all meditate, for the most part, in my opinion. But I think this is a very good topic because a lot of us really need to do it not just subconsciously, but consciously. Because automatic, we are going to self-reflect subconsciously, because that's life. But I think we should do it more as far as do it on a conscious level, whereas though this is what I'm doing, and you look into your life, look at your good, look at your bad, so if you got some bad in the way, some bad habits or bad behavior, you try to shape that into the best, into good, because to me the aim is to be a good human being in this world, so you always want to self-reflect, and you might thinking you doing good, but to someone else you doing bad, uh, all to every action there's a reaction. Erica says she does it, and she really do, because sometimes when she's all emotional and all this, and I try to talk to her, then she don't hear nothing. All she wanted is the answer from what her mind telling her from her emotions. So like later on or the next day, I might talk to Erica, and she be like, okay, yeah, I get what you're saying. I understand. I had to take the time out. So that tells me that not everybody processes as fast. Also, but Erica do process fast to me, but she's emotional. So when the emotion is in the way, she can't process nothing. Nah, but for the most part, she's very smart and intelligent, so she always figured things out. That's what I like about her. She always, she's good at that. She's good at self-reflecting. She's woman about it, like, oh, I see where, and it takes a smart person, in my opinion, and a good person to really can admit, like, okay, well, I went wrong here. This wasn't, and that comes from self-reflecting,
Yeah, thank you. And, I want to give a little warning label or caution to this. So, it depends how long you've been working on yourself. Like I've been working on myself for a long time, trying to be the best version of myself. But if you're not in that space and you're just like replaying situations in your head and just pointing out all your flaws, that's not all of it too. You need to also look, like Texroy said, for the good things too. So don't let this bring you down totally, right? If things come up and you're replaying situations that maybe you didn't say the best words or whatever, take action on them. Don't just sit and replay all this negative stuff about you. How are you going to fix it? So like I always self-reflect and then, okay, now what am I going to do next? What am I going to do differently? What am I going to work on? We don't always get it right. Like you might make mistakes more than once, but you continue to grow. So make sure that you take action on it. So if you're always in this bad situation, okay, now you identified it, take action and move on, right? I think that's the way to do it. What do you think?
Yes, yes. And you always make good points in all these episodes. I notice, always explain yourself eloquently, Even when I don't, you always take over and, explain to the audience eloquently.
So listen, we both of us have lived a lot of life. You know what I mean? We've had a lot of stuff happen in our lives, and we've always come out on top, I would say, right? We have a plan, and we're positive people. And I think that helps us a lot too with the self-reflection. Like we look at it as a positive thing versus, oh man, I got to focus on my negative stuff. We look at it positively. So I would hope that our listeners would take that from it as well. So sorry, what else do you want to say before we end?
Well, I mean, that basically sums it up. Just to add a little, my formula, I try to always remain calm in any situation, whether it's bad or good. Try my best to remain calm. So Erica always say, well, are you excited about this? Are you excited about that? And she'll ask me that question a million times. I mean, I always try to remain calm and humble in every situation. And that's a way it's a way to deal with reflecting. So you can self-reflect at any time when you're calm, in my opinion. So my process of that is, quiet. Silence is power. So I would say quiet. In my head, I'm self-reflecting. I'm, figuring out the math.
Listen, they
So
don't
you
know why
looking
I'm laughing. They don't know why I'm laughing about the quiet.
at, yes, it's well, with me, I speak when I feel it's necessary, not because I want to. I just want to do that. So that's why I'm quiet.
So I think you reflect a lot then.
Oh yeah, it's true. I do reflect a lot because I'm quiet. So when you quiet, your mind is somewhere else because your mouth is not distracting your mind.
Your mouth is not distracting.
But it's true. So when you quiet, how you gonna learn anything if you always doing teaching, talking, talking, talking? So the person that's quiet, he's soaking it all up. He's learning everything. He's observing. A quiet person always observing. So we study things. We basically always self-reflecting. But as I was saying, my formula to that, my formula. Oh man, I hate losing my train of thought.
I distracted you with my mouth.
Yeah. Maybe that was the case. Oh boy.
We do have a lot of fun together, Tucker, don't we, though?
Yeah, always from start.
So your formula is that you observe things. You're not always talking. You're thinking. You're self-reflecting. You can do this anywhere. You could do it in taxi. You could do it while you're sitting listening to music. You could do this while you're laying in bed. That's what I got from that, and that you're able to do this and pull it up at any time because your brain isn't thinking about what's the next thing you're going to say. You're just in your thoughts and what's going on, and you're not
collecting my thoughts at all time, most times. Staying calm, staying humble.
Yeah, I talk a lot. So if anyone knows me in real life, this is not an understatement. But I realized, somebody helped me, that I don't have to say everything that pops in my head. Okay. So lately I've been thinking about, okay, do I really need to say this? Do I really need to say that? So we were in an Uber, remember, in Kingston? And our Uber driver was talking and talking and talking and talking. And I looked over at Tex Roy. Tex Roy's talking with the guy, but I knew that Tex Roy was like, man, this guy is talking too much. And it was a surprise to me because he probably talked on a level I normally talked at. But in that moment, I was trying to think. About, we had just went to this hotel where, we're going to do an event, all this stuff. I was trying to process all that, and I couldn't because this man kept talking, So I thought, man, there is having some silence sometimes and not having to think about what you're going to say out loud is really key. So I think that we should probably, talking is important. Asking questions is key, but I think that we should also reflect and take that time throughout the day, wherever you are, just to reflect on stuff, decompress. I think it's key.
You can do that at any time. All it is just a brain silence. Just silence your brain, blocking things out and looking in your mind, Yeah. And always, in another way I see it, I always, no matter the situation, it could be the worst situation, look for the good. Always look for the good. Don't focus too much on the bad. When the bad presents itself, then you deal with it then. But always look for the good in any situation. Always work on your weaknesses, like SWOT in business: strengths, weakness, the rest. So that type of approach.
Yes. Grow. Have a growth mindset. It'll take you far. All right. So listen, go to yourdailyboost365.com. Sign up to hear about our book drop and our journal and to hear more episodes. And wherever you're listening to this right now, please drop us a review. Let us know your takeaways from this. We'd love to hear your insight. Till next time. Bye.
Later.